when you think about years like that. So you were helping teach out there right in the beginning.
Yeah, Bill Dudley was the first director, and he knew that I was fresh out of college and was involved in the kind of work and had the kind of educational background that at that time they were called technical college centers,
right?
And or technical centers. And so I taught shop math and drafting and economics.
Is that right?
4 quarters. They were on the quarter system. And finally, I said, Bill, you got to let me go. But I did do that the first year out there.
That's great. And, of course, they have expanded so much. You think about the expansion of Horry Georgetown, aside from the first congressional district in which you're very actively serving, and obviously the entire state board, the technical college system has just rapidly blossomed.
Yeah, we have over 100,000 students in our 16 colleges.
Is that right?
And these are credit students, and then we have another 100 and some odd thousand in continuing ed.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out that if all the tech students could be in one place, say like the Carolina Clemson game or something like that,
right?
We would have far more students. We would have more students than all the colleges, 4-year colleges in the state of South Carolina.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. We're more than half of the people enrolled in higher education credit classes are in one of our 16 technical colleges. Around the nation, they're known as community colleges.
Sure, that's right.
And so we fill a very important role. Some of our students are transfer students. Most of our students are working towards an associate's degree or some diploma or certificate program related to enhancing their job skills.
Right.
And developing the workforce.
Of course, the name technical education, of course, a lot of folks would potentially be confused by that because it is such a broad educational sphere there, Dan.
Well, as I say, around the nation, the 2-year colleges are more generally known as community colleges. And last year, Spartanburg Technical College did change its name to Spartanburg Community College. And I think that will be a trend in the state as we move forward. But the mission is to provide education and training for non-traditional students. Most of our students are about 28 years old.
Is that right, the average age?
Yeah, most of them. The average composite would be a minority female, 28 years old, with a family and facing difficulty challenges as it relates to child care and transportation. And so it's very rewarding to be a part of a system that gives people like that a second chance or even a chance to get the training and education that they need and to improve the quality of their lives.
And the lottery scholarships in the recent past have had a real impact on opening up, and that opens to virtually everyone.
Yes. The lottery tuition assistance program that we have is intended to provide about 75% of the tuition at any of our colleges. And many of our students qualify for other aid, federal Pell Grants, and so forth. We require them to apply for all financial aid that they might be eligible for before we give them the LTA grant. And but that's the way we keep the technical college system afloat largely is through tuition that comes from the lottery program.
And you also serve as an ex officio member for the Horry Georgetown Technical College Foundation. And I guess you may even attend the local commission meetings, or maybe are you a member of that or ex officio member of that as well?
Well, yeah, it's a good point.
You're wearing a lot of hats.
I kind of jump in with both feet. If I'm asked to do something, I don't do it a little bit. I try to give as much as I can. I'm on the state Tech Foundation board and the local Tech Foundation board. Both of them are ex officio.
Right.
And I do attend the board meetings of Horry Georgetown Tech and Trident Tech down in Charleston. Very large.
Is that
school.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Is Trident real large? What is it like?
They have about 10,000 students.
Really?
Horry has about 5,000.
So it really is. And of course, there are are 6 state board members, I believe, representing the 6 congressional districts. I noticed on the statetechsystem.com website, or SC Tech System, or SC Tech, I can't remember the fancy, do you know it?
I ask you a question. Can I press the cough button?
Oh, yeah, please, cough away, Dan, absolutely. No, we think about, take your time. No, that's fine. I was trying to think of course, you and the other 5 folks representing the 6 congressional districts are on there, as well as Jim Rex, as an ex officio member, the superintendent of education for the state.
Well, you come well prepared, Greg.
Oh, I think it's sctechsystem.com. A great setup there, and of course, I'm very active.
You visited our webpage. Yeah, we're composed of a board of 10. 6 from each, one each from 6 congressional districts, 4 at large, and then by statute, the Secretary of Commerce and Secretary of Education are also members. So that gives us 12 members of the state board.
Sure, which is a great group, a tremendous group, and y'all are making a difference. When you think about that many students statewide, as well as that many continuing education students statewide, that's an incredible responsibility as well.
Well, we have oversight responsibilities and leadership and governance issues for over 200,000 students, roughly half or so in continuing ed, and the other 100,000 in credit classes of various kinds.
Dan, real quick, and I'm afraid time's moving faster than I thought. I was thinking about some of your early service activities outside of this now very active service on the South Carolina State Technical and Comprehensive Education Board. How about, have you held any other civic activities? I know you've had one in particular that sticks out in my mind, but share with the viewers what prompted your early service.
I was following the mold that had been set by my parents, really, and other members of our extended family. And we've always had a tradition of trying to give back and try to be involved. Don't always be a taker, be a giver. Do things where you don't necessarily receive any immediate reward other than the satisfaction of knowing that you're providing and being part of the community and trying to make the community better. I started out with all sorts of things. I've been involved with the Chamber of Commerce. I've been involved with the Myrtle Beach Convention Center.
Oh, yeah, I saw one of the active board members early on.
Fame and the Rotary Club, and spent 10 years in workforce development with the State Workforce Development Board.
I saw that and got a big award from them statewide. Yeah, for Volunteer of the Year maybe in the mid-90s.
So I've always. I was on the County Planning Commission for 22 years.
22 years, golly.
Charter member, helped start what we now have today as our County Planning Commission. And so probably leaving out a few, but that's enough. It gets kind of boring after a while to read all that.
Did you ever think about running for office, Dan?
I've run for office, but I've never been successful. I'm not as good at politicking for votes as I am at just saying, here am I, how can I help?
Right. Which are great words, albeit that has not been the case necessarily for some of your children. I know one of them in particular we think about who's had an active and long service on the Myrtle Beach City Council. Wayne.
Of course, you're referring to Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne is, he's had some successes in politics, and he's had some setbacks, but he currently serves on the city council doing a wonderful job.
Absolutely. You've got other kids here in the area, Dan.
My oldest son, Danny, is a manager of one of the Springhouse restaurants here. And my son, Roger, is principal of Myrtle Beach Middle School. And Danette works in marketing for the Springhouse Restaurant Group.
That's tremendous. All staying very active, and Springhouse, a wonderful extension. Sure, having everyone there. And of course, so great seeing you and Denise last weekend out at the Hardball, which was a great testament here in the community. And part of the thrill of getting you in was the opportunity to highlight so much of what you're active in. But of course, the Technical Education Board has really had its tentacles out throughout the state and impacting folks on a daily basis.
Well, it is a labor of love, and it really is inspiring to know that in a small way, I and my colleagues on the state board have a little bit of a role to play in really improving the quality of the lives of provide for workforce development in our state. That's a big element of what we do. A big part of the state tech system is to provide economic development through workforce education and training. And so that's a very large part of what we do, both in establishing new industries and helping existing industry grow, as well as providing continuing and follow-up education and training. Very much involved in the BMW plant.
Oh, yeah.
Now down in Charleston, a new Dreamliner, the new project that for Boeing. We're providing all the job training for that. And it'll reach Georgetown County, the new plant to make wallboard. We're going to be doing the training for that down there in Georgetown County.
That's tremendous, Dan. Well, I want you to know I've got 9 other questions that I want to get to, but I've got less than 9 seconds, so we're going to have to do this another time. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Sorry about the cough there. We should have given you more water, maybe some more coffee. Johnny Rockets is the place. We're visiting with Dan Gray. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. You know, we didn't get to talk to Dan about being the chairman of the founding chairman, the first chairman of the North-South All-Star Football Committee, but we did get to hear him talk about selling those Charlotte Observers. Was it in the morning and the Charlotte News in the afternoon? That was a penny and a half for paper. That was probably pretty dang good money over the course of time. We didn't get to talk to him about his first childhood job, but we got to hear him talk about that excitement and that reprimand at age 5 or 6 of getting on the train, heading up to Conway. You know, there's so many things that happen over life. We think about those now, 65 years, and getting the Medicare card, but a lot goes on even today. We didn't get to hear that great line that I've heard so many times: education is in the gray blood. I think you'd see it if you spent a few minutes with Dan. Hopefully you saw a little bit of it this morning. Dan Gray.